Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Near Disney. This is the Wednesday show where our panel of local real estate experts bring you all the news of what's happening within a 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle. So stay tuned, we've got a great show for you. All right, the fireworks are on, so we're getting started.
Woo!
I am sitting in the host chair tonight, Elijah with Florida in Motion Realty. They call me the Prince of Real Estate around here on Near Disney. And then sitting next to me, of course, is
I'm Tanya with Florida in Motion Realty, also known as the Latin Princess, y yo hablo español.
yes,
And I am Sue, also known as, oh, sorry, go ahead. Are you done? Are you finished?
we got it. Like I feel like we're talking on like CNN or something, and the newscaster has the lag between the interviewer and the
Oh,
keep
no
interrupting.
lagging. No pausing, no lagging. I'm Sue, also known as Aurora, and we are really happy to welcome you guys tonight.
Yes, and I want to bookend the introduction from you, Sue, as we had a very blessed day today by having a closing that we really do sell houses. And what's extra special about this closing to anyone watching is that these people, this beautiful family, Kevin and Kathy, shout out, beautiful home, they were viewers from out of state. So they were watching Near Disney, tuning in and watching our program. They called us directly. See these numbers? I'll expand the screen. These numbers, they really call reach us. And so that was just so fun to be able to get to the closing date with some real viewers. Like I say, we're so happy to help you. We found a very specific request for a 3-car garage, new construction, which was a tall order, but hey, that's what we do, get to work for you. So we are always here to resource ourselves to you. That was from out of state. So so honored that we reach people that through this resource of YouTube. So that was awesome to get the closing from people who called us, took that chance on us. So anyway, I want to hand over the platform to Tanya, who has a very important update as well about a deadline that is coming up.
Yes, we have an important topic that could save you thousands of dollars. If you recently purchased a home in the beautiful state of Florida, you won't want to miss this because the homestead exemption could be your ticket to significant tax breaks. But there's a deadline approaching, and that deadline is March 1st. What is the homestead exemption? People ask most of the time. In Florida, it allows homeowners to deduct up to $50,000 from the assessed value of their primary residence. That means that the first $25,000 is entirely exempt, and the next $25,000 applies to the value between $50,000 and $75,000. So basically, it results in a substantial reduction in property taxes with a potential 25% decrease in taxable value. So picture a $200,000 home being taxed as if it was valued at $150,000. That's significant savings, especially when it comes to that tax bill. Like I said, the deadline is March 1st, and missing the deadline could potentially cost you a lot of money. So you don't want that to happen.
And it's not just, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not just about savings as well as also it's about kind of some protection as a homeowner because it's saying that creditors cannot force the sale of your home as out of a court judgment. So it's your primary residence. It's this law that's meant to protect you from creditors. Some people say that like, oh, it means that no one can ever kick you out of your house. Well, the IRS may be able to have the power to repossess, but hey, at least in many cases in Florida, a lot of people see that as a big benefit. Sometimes that's one of the reasons why some of our more famous athlete or celebrity residents here in Florida choose our state, in that it's kind of a protection for their estate as a primary home. If anybody tries to do some sort of frivolous lawsuit thinking that they can like get something out of the celebrity or something, that their big asset of a mansion or an estate or a home is protected just as well as you. And if your primary residence is a condo or a townhouse or single family. So that is a beautiful thing. And yeah, it's good to be aware of that deadline. Whenever we're at the closing table, Kim kind of likes to say that, keep in mind that, like, think homestead just right around Valentine's Day. That should trigger your mind to get in motion. So yeah, you'll be able to save money on taxes, which we all love to do here. It's one of the big draws of the state of Florida.
Yeah, protect your home. And the cool thing is that once you've been qualified for the exemption, you don't have to file for it again. So it's just a one-time deal. And, you know, especially now in Florida, the prices have been soaring. You want to make sure that you do that as soon as you can.
So I will throw it over to Sue now, kind of bookending what we're talking about as Florida as an attractive market, not just in a tax sense, but please let us know what you found today about our state.
Well, what I found is just reinforcement on what we've been seeing, especially over the last few years, of the influx of people moving to Florida. Florida has now jumped up over New York as the second in line in the country as the most valuable housing market. So that's huge. We're second now only to California, and actually 4 of the 6 cities were actually in Florida. Now, this is the 6 markets out of the 6 markets in the entire country. Florida had Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville, and Orlando. So there's a lot going on in Florida right now. This interview that I read was with Mark Jones, who is a town architect. He was involved not only in Oakland. Sorry, the Oakland. I have a hard time saying Oakland in relation to Florida because I'm born and raised Southern California. So Oakland is so different there. But anyway, so he was involved in the Oakland project, but he also, before that, was involved, one of the cities that he helped create was Celebration. So he has a really good idea about, you know, how to build, what to build, you know, what people are looking for, you know, families and, you know, retired people and everybody in between. So anyway, but he had a great comment about, it's all about supply and demand, and it's huge here because the baby boomers like me are moving here, and that is, they're wanting to retire here. They're wanting to have a place for their families to come and visit, you know, grandchildren, that whole kind of thing, where everybody can get out of where they're at, get in the sunshine, and enjoy each other, and just, you know, loving Florida. So there is a cost to this, you know, whether it's like our property taxes go up a little bit, or there's a tax on the infrastructure. Sometimes there's an influx of people more than they expect into a community, and sometimes the traffic, you know, goes up and down with that. But, you know, I've lived in rural areas for a long time now, and we are not having a problem getting used to this, how the traffic flows here. You get used to it very quickly. You learn your way around. It forces you actually to learn really cool routes, you know, from your point A to point B. And again, we have so much new construction happening. It is still worthwhile to get in on a home if you're looking to buy right now, even with a higher interest rate. And we've encouraged people continuously, not just one-on-one with our clients, but on this show, that you always have the option, once you're in a home, to refinance when those interest rates go down. And they've come down a tad, but they are projecting that maybe by even the end of next year, we're going to see more of a significant drop. But anyway, property values are great. Property values are going up for the most part. And get in, you know, if you are looking for, we have so many people here that live, you know, most people refer to them as snowbirds, but there's a lot of people that bounce back and forth all year long. They're not just here for 3 months during the winter. You know, I've got all kinds of neighbors in our community that do live here full time, you know, bounce back and forth to another state, live here half time. But again, there is a lot of benefit, like Tanya was just talking about. If you live here 6 months and 1 day, you can establish Florida as your primary residence. And therefore that allows you a lot of benefits that Florida has to offer, as well as that option to establish homestead on your property. So yeah, if you're local, give us a call. If you're out of the area, like I told Elijah today, I said, I'm working with 4 other clients, whether it's with him or by myself, that are also from out of state. So, you know, give us a call. Let us know what you're looking for. We will do our absolute best to get you something that you are going to enjoy, you know, hopefully for the rest of your life down here.
Yeah, since you mentioned that, I'll bring this picture up just one more time to the viewers just tuning in. It's just that we had this closing today, and I love what they said was that when I was saying like, okay, now that you used us after watching our show and you got a house, you have an excuse a permission not to have to watch our show and our stream anymore because we took care of you. And they said, no, we're going to keep watching because you give us good updates just about the general market and what to do in Florida, in Central Florida anyway. So I was like, okay, all right, keep watching. Don't take that free pass.
No, I loved what Kathy said. Kathy said, I'm going to keep watching. She goes, but I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to see something and go, oh, I like that, you know, and then be, I don't want to have buyer's remorse. And so I just told her, I said, hey, it's a great way to get ideas about, you know, any changes you want to make to your home.
Yeah, that average turnaround is kind of like 4 to 6 years or so, where people, just life circumstances sort of just create a new season that has a new home need, maybe. So we stick with people's. Kim Hawk, Fairy Godmother Real Estate's been in the business for over 25 years, has sold to the kids of people she sold to, and like those seasons just keep coming, and we love to get that word of mouth. So to bookend on what you were saying there about the hot market and whether it's a good time to buy or refinance something, just kind of wanted to give an update on the rent versus buying situation based on this article from Orlando Business Journal. The median monthly rent in Orlando reached $2,100, and so as they saw the metros rising in rent price, according to rent.com, basically makes Orlando, Florida's second most expensive major metro for renters. So basically we've got some high rent. And so we tell people that that's kind of why, when you think of it in terms, we always want to price you versus owning and accumulating appreciation on your assets of a house versus just kind of toss it into rent. What makes the more sense? So we put people in touch with their lenders based on our preferred lenders based on, like, you know, what makes sense to do as far as what you can afford and monthly payments to accumulate that equity. A multifamily vacancy rates forecasted to hit 7.4% this year, up from 3% historic lows in 2021. An increase in apartment construction has followed, probably because we got construction back after the pandemic when just the supply shortage was crazy. And so here's kind of those major cities that we were talking about in Sue's article. Some of them: Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville. As far as where rent is, Miami is kind of like the average rent price almost at $3,000 a month. And here we are in Orlando at $2,127, and then Tampa just below that at $2,088. So, and then Jacksonville at $1,726. So Orlando and Tampa, that's kind of like the beach lifestyle versus the parks and attractions lifestyle of Central Florida a little bit. And so and versus, you know, the crazy fun, wild party, youth, hip, crazy movie lifestyle of Miami. But hey, so just, I want to highlight some of that for you, and just we'd love to continue to have that conversation about where does it make more sense to do for you and your budget at this time. We'll talk to you about the market, we'll talk to you about prices, and we can put you in touch with our lenders as always about whether that price for rent is making sense compared to what you can get for a mortgage, because it's kind of getting up there.
Hmm.
So, all right, I think that's everything that we had as far as the main articles, but I want to share something with you. We have a new listing that came on the market in Celebration, the town that Disney built, and we're really excited about this one at 604 Nadina Place in Celebration. What's awesome about it is that it's a one-story home with a garage apartment built that's right near the downtown. It's got solar panels on the roof. It's got a new roof being built, and it has a beautiful front porch, so, and some fenced in yard. So I'll just let this speak for itself at this point, because that's a lot of attractive features we love to see in homes near Disney. All right. So
Beautiful.
that is,
Yes.
I'm just trying to find the right thumbnail here. So that is 2,400, over 2,400 square feet. It's 4-bedroom. That includes the garage apartment, studio apartment as one of the bedrooms, and for the price of $1,084,000. So beautiful home that just that excellent location, walkability to downtown Celebration, one of those sort of private, tucked out of the way streets that's downtown Celebration, because some of those areas are more trafficked where the cars are passing by a lot of time. Nadina is one of those streets where it just sort of you take an off-road and then turn again, and it's just like there's nobody going there who's not deliberately meaning to be just there. So, and it's got some pretty grass space in front of the home to kind of sit and look at on your porch as well. So very happy to have a listing like that. Those one-story homes really are beautiful and desirable in the town that Disney built, with that proximity to the Disney parks. So if you're interested in a home like that, or just any home in Central Florida, that's why we got our phone numbers posted up the whole time. Would love to make an appointment with you, or just talk about your needs for yourself or anyone else that you're looking for who needs any house help. So I think that's all that we got for you today.
Let me add something to what we were just talking about, as also investors. Again, we've hit on this. I have a client right now, 𝐊𝐤𝐸𝐻. He is an investor, and he is building up his wealth in vacation homes. And he's well on his way. He's not even 40 years old. So it's definitely, you know, a great income, a great tax write-off. You can't go wrong buying property. You cannot go wrong buying land or property. So just keep that in mind. You know, even if you don't want to live here, even if you only want to visit 2 weeks a year, you know, if you have a place here, it's going to earn you some income.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, see real estate as, you know, their avenue to invest. You know, we don't give the official financial advice here, but you know, we do give you our market expertise for the real estate market. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Sue, and thanks for tuning in. And try to catch you next week, and tune into the Friday show as well at 1:30 p.m. where Kim Hawk, the fairy godmother of real estate herself, hosts and gives a broader Orlando update. So always subscribe and like, stay tuned. It never ends, the magic that we bring to you. Never ends.